Good afternoon, guys. Steve here today. Going to be running through the foreign currency options, or multi-currency options, if you like, on Prima Cloud. As of the last couple of versions, you essentially have the ability to set up multi-currency for both sales and purchases through Prima now, and it all starts really in the administration area. Just set up some live examples there and we'll come back to those shortly. If I just minimize this and then go through to the administration. Okay, so essentially what happens is when you go live with Prima, in your financial system keys, you'll set your database to a base currency. Okay, and that would stay the same. If you're a euros account, then you can set the base currency to euros. If you're a sterling account, then you can set the base currency to sterling, as we've got here. Okay, so that's just a quick setting in the database. But on the back of that, what you now have in your general admin area is the opportunity to update some information around the currencies. So you have your base currency, and then you can have some trading currencies that you can use in the database. So as an example, we have here euros, dollars, and pounds as the three trading currencies available. Okay. To add a new currency, you can add the option in here, but if I just go into one of these existing ones, it will show you the options. So I'm going to go into euros because that's what we're going to be looking at today, versus my base currency of pounds. Okay, so if I open the section, the euro code is EUR. I've given my currency a name. That's just for reference purposes. Then, depending on your level of precision within the database, you can set the decimal level on your currency exchange here for your trading currency. Okay. You can set a symbol for the relevant currency. So I've got my euro symbol here, and then in the bottom section, the bit that's relevant against the base currency is your trading currency for purchases and sales. Okay, so you have a new buying rate, so your purchase rate, and you have a new selling rate, which is your selling rate against the base currency. Okay, so what happens is essentially you have in this grey box what the current rate would be, and the new buying rate and new selling rate are dated, so you can forward a currency. So if you know you're going to change your currency to a certain, or trading currency to a certain level at a point in the future, then you can assign a date and time, and then from that point these new rates will become the current rates and will stay in that as the current rate until you decide to change it at a later date. So we have customers using it whereby they're periodically going in and setting a new rate per month, for example. We have customers where they're hedging some currency, so they might want to set a rate for a period of time while that hedge is active, if you like, and you can do those as per the dates that you've got in here, and all the while until you change it, whatever's grey in here will be your current purchase and selling rates. Okay, so pretty straightforward to set up basically, and then you can use it against the accounts within Prima. Okay, so I'm just going to minimize this and I'm going to jump into the client itself, and then we can show you how it kind of works on a practical level. Okay, so what happens is the first protocol is your company record. So everything until you decide to change it will default to your base currency. So what we advise is, and what essentially what needs to happen is, any new account or any account that you want to use in a trading currency other than the base currency needs to be set up as a new account in Prima. Reason being, you may have historical sales in the base currency and then you're asking to switch that company account over to a new trading currency, and there would be some potential data issues there. So what we're saying is, if you want to use a new account to trade in euros, for example, as we're going to look at here, then set it up as a new account in a new company record in the database. And I'll just show you where that bit exists. So if I click on new record and go into the company section, it's simply a case of, when you're putting all your information in at this point into the new company record, over here you have your trading currency. Like I say, it'll default to whatever the base currency is in your database, and then you would go in and decide, okay, actually I want this one to be a euro trading account, be it a supplier or a customer. Okay, so set that, and then once you create and open the account, from that point forward, and it will stay that way, the trading currency will be whatever you've set in here. Okay, so I've got some examples already in here, so I'm going to show you kind of how it's used. So once you've got that set up either against a supplier account or a customer account, you can go in and start essentially putting orders on. So from a customer sale point of view, I've set up an EU customer, got my trading currency as euros here, and what will happen is, as I enter codes onto the order, it's doing the conversion against my current selling rate that is in the admin area. Okay, and what I can do is, at any point in time, I can look in the header detail, and it will tell me what the rate is. Okay, so I've got my current rate here, and I've got my order rate here. So that might be the case that you've put the order on in a previous month, and you've gone into the next month, and the rate has since changed before you've authorized the order. If that's the case, then you can click on this apply rate button, and it will update the rate of all the lines to match the new rate. Okay, so I've added a line onto this order, and if I go to the line detail, what I can see is my cost and my selling price are based in euros, because that's the trading currency against this account. If at any point I want to have a look to update the euro price or update the GB price, it will use the current conversion rate and update and change the selling price. So say for example I wanted to sell it as £2.50, it's already calculating the new rate. When I go back in here, it's already updated the selling price to display the £2.50 sterling as a euros value. And that process can just be repeated throughout the codes on the order, should you need to adjust the pricing. Okay, so you would go through and then authorize your order, and when you authorize the order, there's no picture against that item, that's why it's given an error message. Okay, so you go through, authorize the order, pass the order through, and you'd invoice the customer in your trading currency, and the invoice would be generated in your trading currency, and then when you pass through from a reporting point, from a Sage point of view, it will transfer the money over to your financial account based on your base currency. But from a customer invoice point of view, etc., it will be done as per your trading currency. Okay. On the purchase side, what you have is something very similar. So I've put a stock order on here and it's for the same product. So I've got my purchase rate of 119. So the same situation may happen. I might be looking to put on a stock order, and then the rate since changes in my current rate in the admin, and I can go and switch that rate and save it and make it live as the new current rate. If I apply the rate in here, then it will update the purchase order to match. Okay, and at line level, I have those same options in terms of, actually they've told me the new price is X in euros, and that will, from a kind of database writing back point of view, and my base currency, it will adjust the base currency. The actual cost price is 10, and then it's adjusting my price here to write back to the database. Okay, but from a supplier PO point of view, it's transferring the information across based on my trading currency. Okay. So again, when the purchase invoice comes through and you receive the invoice in euros, what will happen is you can accept the invoice in euros to match up with the PO, and then transferring across to your Sage accounts, that will go across in your base currency, because your Sage accounts is a GB base currency database, and that's what you'll be writing back to. Okay. So it's, like I say, we've got several customers using it at the moment, and it's really straightforward to use in terms of the functionality in here. And we'd encourage any customers who are thinking about using multi-currency within the database to certainly have a look at the webinar content, but also don't feel like you can't give us a call about it. We're happy to give some advice along using it, but it's been pretty well received so far, and it's very straightforward to use. So that's pretty much what we've got for today. Just from a final point, just from a reporting point of view, what you can show is you can show the reports in you will report in your base currency, because that's what your database is against. So your sales reports will come back to your base currency, because that's what the conversion rate is. So you can't have multi-currency on the same report. So that's just a clear it up that if anyone's got any questions around the report. So that's all it was to be covered today. It's only a short session, but it's there and it's available to use for everyone. So any questions, Ali and I will stick around for the next few minutes, and we'll be available to take those. Okay, thank you, and we'll see you next week.